Today on 10 Minute IT Jams, we're joined by Sadiq Iqbal, who is the Security Engineering Manager for the Office of the CTO at Checkpoint Software Technologies. Checkpoint Software is a leading provider of cybersecurity solutions to corporate enterprises and governments globally. Checkpoint's Infinity portfolio of solutions protects enterprises and public organizations from fifth-generation cyber attacks, with an industry-leading catch rate of malware, ransomware, and other threats. Sadiq joins us today to tell us more about Checkpoint Software and their solutions for the APAC market. Thank you for coming along, Sadiq, and welcome to the Jam.
Thank you. Good to be here and good to meet you.
Thank you. Well, let's get straight into it. For a business that hasn't worked with Checkpoint Software before, what are your key products and offerings?
Sure. So, as you said, Checkpoint's a leading global provider of cybersecurity solutions. We've been operating for just over 30 years now. During that time, we've been recognized by analysts such as Gartner for 23 of those years as leaders in the cybersecurity space. We protect well over 100,000 customers, and we operate across 88 countries, across all industry verticals. And we provide a number of tailored solutions to meet challenges for large enterprise, governments, mid-market, and SMB businesses. Our company was actually founded by Gil Shui, who actually invented the modern-day firewall back in the early 90s. He has continued to lead our company and is still current-day CEO. He has continued to keep us at the cutting edge of technology to be able to be ahead of the ever-shifting threat landscape. Our current comprehensive security solution portfolio consists of over 82 security controls, which is broken down across all your common attack surfaces, such as your network, cloud, hybrid workspace, and your devices. Now, to dive a little bit further under the hood, we have the world's fastest firewall, known as Lightspeed. We have the industry's only true hyperscale firewall solution technology that allows future-proofing to the point where you'll never have to rip and replace one of your older firewalls again in order to meet increasing capacity. We cover everything from public cloud. We help customers protect their real estate in AWS and Azure environments, to providing web application and API protection, all the way up to CNAPP, where we are able to protect customers' entire application lifecycle. We provide hybrid workspace solutions as well, including remote access, SASE, SSC, SD-WAN, and we protect all manner of devices, not just your traditional endpoint, but also IoT and even mobile phone devices. We provide a wide range of professional services as well, everything from strategy and planning, implementation of security solutions, optimization, ongoing management, security consulting. We offer incident response services, whether it's responding to an immediate attack in progress, which anyone can do, even if you're not a Checkpoint customer. And we also provide planning around incident response and tabletop exercises to test your organization's cyber resiliency. We offer a flexible go-to-market solutions via a consolidated unified security architecture approach that covers network, cloud, endpoint, and mobile in a single cybersecurity posture platform. Or if you choose, you can choose to go a modular security control approach to address a singular pain point or business objective to complement a defense in-depth strategy.
Well, now, what differentiates Checkpoint Software from other cybersecurity vendors?
Sure. So that's a good question. Given last count I saw, there was over 3,200 cybersecurity vendors out there in the marketplace. The first and foremost thing that differentiates us is our prevention-first mindset. We are the only cybersecurity player that does not believe in what's known as a patient zero approach, whereby the industry prefers to err on the side of caution by allowing anything that's unknown or suspicious to go into the organization. It is then monitored, and only if it detonates and displays malicious behavior will alerts be triggered. And then the onus is on the security team of that organization to jump into action, remediate the threat, and hope it hasn't spread too much during that time. So we believe that's a very inefficient and expensive way to control your risk. Therefore, we have put a lot of effort and investment into our security portfolio to be able to block all threats at the door accurately. We do this in a number of ways. We use patented technologies such as CPU sandboxing technology. We also offer extra layers of protection for our customers, such as threat extraction, whereby any document that tries to enter an organization, either via a file download or via an email attachment, will be automatically stripped of any active content which would potentially contain malicious elements, and a sanitized form of the document will be dropped at the user's inbox with a 2 to 5 second delay, just eliminating that potential for risk. The other differentiator of security enforcement points in general is the threat intelligence that powers these technologies. Checkpoint have one of the largest threat intelligence databases in the industry. We have telemetry data from millions of sensors from our customers and other points across the world, and we've accumulated that over the last 30 years. We also have a number of law enforcement threat intelligence feeds. We also complement that data with our own threat research team's research. We provide a number of inputs from dark web scanning to ethical hacking campaigns, and all of that data is then crunched by our 40 plus AI and deep learning engines. We are then able to turn that data into meaningful insights to make an accurate prediction as to whether something should be blocked or allowed into an organization, to the point where on average our threat cloud AI makes 2 billion decisions per day in protecting our customers. And that is why we have one of the highest catch rates and lowest false positive rates in the industry. The other area that differentiates us, which has recently become a very more hot topic, is the level of product vulnerabilities within our portfolio itself. In the last probably year, we've seen attack groups actually targeting organizations by exploiting the security technology themselves due to the number of vulnerabilities that are associated with their security controls. And we're proud to have one of the lowest vulnerabilities across our portfolio.
Well, now, what trends and issues are the Checkpoint Research Labs seeing currently?
So for those not familiar with our CPR team, Checkpoint has a research team that comprises of over 200 threat researchers. We have malware reverse engineers, we have data scientists, ethical hacking teams, and many, many other smart guys. So these guys report on a very regular basis on the threat landscape, and we provide biannual trend reports as well that make for very comprehensive viewing. So according to our CPR team, the threat landscape is continuing to increase year on year. I don't think that'll be a surprise to many people out there. It's pretty much in the news every day these days, and very close to home in Australia as well of the last couple of years. We've seen exponential increases in targeting attacks, particularly towards the education and research industry, and also the healthcare industry, where it was mainly for ransomware. Speaking of ransomware, ransomware is still probably the most commonly used attack vector by threat actors. Despite being tools commonly available to combat this, we saw a 32% year-on-year increase against businesses using ransomware tactics. Our stats actually are at the point where we believe there's 1 in 40 organizations have now been hit by a ransomware attack. What we've also now started to see is data extortion, which is an evolution of the traditional ransomware approach, whereby threat actors are now also making additional money by not just encrypting the data, but they steal the data and then they sell it to other parties, or they sell it back to the customer for a double extortion racket. The other probably more sinister evolution we've started to see over the last 12 months is the adoption of what's known as a wiper attack. So this is, it's an evolution of this ransomware style of attack, but there is no financial motivation behind it. In this case, we're seeing that the motivation is purely to destroy the data and sabotage the organization. And this is in line with the rise in hacktivism that we've seen as well over the last year. Mainly due to the geopolitical situation in Eastern Europe, where we've seen prominent hacking groups now take sides in that situation, or in some cases be put under the payroll of the two parties in question. We've also seen a number of increased attacks towards mobile phones, which is probably one of the areas most organizations forget when they're building their cybersecurity posture, thinking that an MDM is adequate enough. However, our stats indicate we've seen a lot of targeted attacks using poisoned applications and targeting OS vulnerabilities within the mobile phone itself. The other area is the very trending topic of AI. The level of sophistication of the phishing attacks we're now seeing targeting organizations has vastly increased to the point where the days of a Nigerian prince email where you could easily decipher when something was iffy have now gone. The emails and the smishing attacks are very perfectly grammatically written, and they're almost an exact replica of a legitimate email, and we're now seeing professionals being caught off guard. And finally, we've seen a number of LLM spin-offs. So technologies, AI spin-offs such as ChatGPT have now gotten into the hands of threat actors, and they're now selling those services on the dark web for users to actually consume them by creating malicious code or malicious phishing campaigns for a small fee.
Well, now, what infrastructure or resources does Checkpoint Software have in the ANZ market?
So Checkpoint's actually been operating in ANZ for over 20 years now, so we're pretty established. We have local teams in pretty much every state across Australia and New Zealand. We have local data center presence across Sydney and Melbourne for all of our cloud and SaaS offerings. So we are able to offer data sovereignty and data residency for all our security solutions. We have local teams of security engineers, consultants, support specialists, incident response, and SOC teams available. We are a 100% channel-led organization in Australia, so we also have 400 active partners who collectively support our customers with us.
Well, I guess one final question. If an enterprise end user wanted to engage with Checkpoint Software, what's the best way they could do that?
Well, you can certainly reach out to me anytime on LinkedIn. I'm always happy to have a chat and put you in contact with the right people. We have a lot of resources available on our website at checkpoint.com. We have a technical user group forum called Checkmate. So if you'd like to know a bit more about our technology, you should pop in there. Our threat research team, who I mentioned, who are known as CPR, they also have their own website where they publish regular updates on trends across the threat landscape and reports biannually as well. They're also on Twitter. And lastly, I'd encourage you to have a look at our live threat map, which is what you can see running behind me. So this is a live visualization of our threat cloud AI in action. So you'll be able to see in real time what our threat intelligence database is seeing, the attacks we're blocking across the world, where they're originating from, who they're targeting, and what styles of attacks are currently trending at any moment and any given day, which makes for quite interesting viewing.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen something like that before. It's very interesting. Well, it has been a pleasure having you on the Jam, Sadiq, and hearing more about Checkpoint Software and what you guys do. We look forward to hearing more from Checkpoint Software very soon.
Thank you. My pleasure.